All right, good afternoon. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Shakespeare's Big Four. And so I tried to do something a little different with the lesson. Of course, normally I have all the theatrics in the classroom, but considering we're not in the classroom, I wanted to kind of have more of a presentation format. Okay? So, this Shakespeare's Big Four. The Big Four we're going to talk about are Macbeth, Hamlet, King Lear, and Othello. Why are these considered Shakespeare's Big Four? They're considered Shakespeare's Big Four because, according to academia, according to the collegiate world, these are the best plays of Shakespeare. Simple as that. Okay. So remember, this is not Shakespeare 101. This is theater appreciation, which means that you're just going to learn about different pieces of theater and how it all ends up combining together. Okay. So with Shakespeare's Big Four, we're going to learn just kind of the differences between different things, the differences between Othello, King Lear, Hamlet, Macbeth. So if I put it on the test and I put down, okay, well, what is the difference or what happened in Othello? What are the basics that happen in Othello? What are the basics that happen in King Lear? Hamlet, Macbeth, you will be able to tell the differences and also pick out some of the characters. So, first, we're going to start with Hamlet. Okay, the first thing we're going to do with Hamlet is let's go over some of the characters. Okay, Shakespeare's Hamlet. The main character, of course, is Prince Hamlet, but we have Hamlet, the king, which is the ghost, Claudius, the uncle, he's the present king, Queen Gertrude, which is the mother of Prince Hamlet, Ophelia, Prince Hamlet's girlfriend, Polonius, Ophelia's father, and Laertes, which is Ophelia's brother. There are other characters, of course, in this Shakespeare story. However, we're just going to go over these main characters and how they connect with each other. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the story of Hamlet. And I apologize if you hear the dog barking, my husband mowing the grass, and the kids crying in the background. However, let's talk about him. All right, so we start off with the soldiers. They see the ghost of King Hamlet and tells Prince Hamlet. The ghost tells Prince Hamlet that his brother Claudius killed him by pouring poison in his ear while he was sleeping. At first, Prince Hamlet doesn't quite believe his father or believe that's the ghost. However, later on in the story, he realizes that that is the ghost of his father. Claudius is now king and has married Prince Hamlet's mother, Gertrude. Um, Later on, when Prince Hamlet, realizes and start believing the ghost of his father, one of the things the ghost tells Prince Hamlet to do is start to begin to act strange toward the people that are close to him. During this particular time, a theater group comes to town. Okay? And when this theater group comes to town, he, Prince Hamlet, convinces the theater group to reenact the death of his father in their production. Okay? Because what Prince Hamlet wants to see is Prince Hamlet wants to see the reaction of Claudius while watching the production. And so the theatrical group, they reenact the death of his father. They pour poison in one of the actors' ear, and so this reenacts the actual death. And Prince Hamlet watches the reaction of Claudius, and Claudius is, of course, upsets Claudius, and he reacts to that. He leaves. As a result of that, this is confirmation that what the ghost has told Prince Hamlet is actually true. That the king was actually killed by his brother. Okay. In the midst of that, Another event that happens that also makes Prince Hamlet, definitely realize that the ghost is also telling the truth is Prince Hamlet really spies on Claudius praying. Okay, so he spies on Claudius praying, and Claudius is praying actually for forgiveness for killing his brother. Okay. So when Prince Hamlet observes Claudius praying and asking for forgiveness for killing his brother, and exactly what he has done. Um, at that particular time, Prince Hamlet does not kill Claudius at that time. What he ends up doing is he just observes. The reason why he does not kill his uncle Claudius at that time is that he does not want Claudius to go to heaven asking for forgiveness. He feels that if Claudius is praying, asking for forgiveness of what he's done, that Claudius will go to heaven. And so if he kills Claudius at that time, while Claudius is praying, that Claudius would go to heaven. He does not want Claudius to go to heaven. He wants Claudius to go to hell for killing his father. Okay. Now, Prince Hamlet, one of the things that he also does is he confronts his mother. So Prince Hamlet confronts his mother about what exactly has went on. We're going to pause for just a second and put this back on the board. Okay, I can get this over here using my other hand. Give me just a second here. Put you down. Okay, well, let's continue. So we left off pretty much with Prince Hamlet confronts his mother. Okay, so he goes in his mother's room to confront her about how he feels about, first of all, he does not like the idea that she married Claudius, which is his uncle, after his father's death. He doesn't tell her that he knows that his uncle has killed his brother. However, he is enraged when he speaks to his mother. As a result of that, she yells out. Now, at this time, someone is behind the curtain, and Prince Hamlet thinks that it is Claudius behind the curtain. However, it's not Claudius behind the curtain. It is actually his girlfriend's father, Polonius. Okay, so Polonius is behind the curtain. Now, because Prince Hamlet thinks that Claudius is behind the curtain, he stabs the curtain. And when he stabs the curtain, he accidentally kills his girlfriend's father. So now, at this time, Claudius the king decides he needs to get rid of Hamlet. And so he sends Hamlet off, and he also sends him off with travelers. And the travelers have a letter. And that particular letter is to kill Prince Hamlet when they get to their destination. However, there is a strange part of events. The ship that they're traveling on is attacked by pirates. So when the ships are attacked by pirates, Hamlet, he ends up escaping and he ends up returning back to the kingdom. When he returns back to the kingdom, one thing that has happened is his girlfriend, Ophelia, has died of grief of drowning. Okay. One of the things is Ophelia thinks that because of Prince Hamlet's strange behavior that the ghost told Prince Hamlet to portray, that he does not love her. There's also insinuations between her brother and father that Prince Hamlet doesn't love her because she's not of royal blood. Okay. So because she's not of royal blood, the father and the brother has told Ophelia that, Prince Hamlet can't really love you. He's not going to marry you. And so between that grief and the grief that Prince Hamlet has accidentally killed her father, she ends up drowning, literally drowning, and she ends up dying. Okay. This, of course, infuriates Laertes, which is her brother, because her brother is feeling as if, okay, you have killed my father accidentally. My sister has died of grief because of you, and so he wants revenge. Okay. So Claudius uses this as an excuse to just construct another plan, and that is to set up a duel between Laertes and Prince Hamlet. So a duel is set up between Laertes and Prince Hamlet. And they want to make sure, of course, of Prince Hamlet's demise. So what they do is they poison a cup of wine at the duel, and Laertes also poisons his sword. That way, either way, Prince Hamlet will die. So that is the plan. But let's look at the battle. Okay, so there is a battle, and we're just going to go through the particular steps of the battle. So during this particular duel between Laertes and Prince Hamlet, instead of Prince Hamlet drinking the wine, his mother Gertrude, accidentally drinks the wine. She dies. Laertes stabs Hamlet with the sword throughout the battle. However, Hamlet does not die, not yet. Throughout the battle, they continue battling, and the swords get switched. They get switched in battle. And what ends up happening is Hamlet ends up stabbing Laertes with his own poisoned sword. So the sword that Laertes poisoned, remember they got switched in battle, Laertes accidentally gets stabbed with his own sword. During this time, Laertes go ahead and tells Hamlet the Claudius plan, which was to, kill him in those particular ways. Laertes dies. Hamlet is furious with Claudius, so he makes Claudius drink the wine, and he also stabs him. Remember, Hamlet has also been stabbed with the poisoned sword, and so now everything takes in effect. He dies, and so now the entire royal family dies. Okay, so this is pretty much what happened in Hamlet. Remember, this is not detailed. Okay. Remember, this is not Shakespeare 101 where we're analyzing the different plays. I just wanted you to know different details of what happened and who are some of the characters. And remember, these notes are also in Blackboard. So you click on the Shakespeare notes. So if I ask, well, what character is Claudius in? What Shakespeare play is Claudius in? Then you will know, okay, well, it's in Hamlet. Or if I say, okay, well, who is Ophelia? Then you will know, okay, that's related to Hamlet because Ophelia is actually Prince Hamlet's girlfriend in this particular. Or who was Laertes? Laertes was actually Ophelia's brother. Okay, so I want you to know some of the characters that went on in Hamlet. So thank you, and now we're going to move on to King Lear.